Okay.
All
right, we have Kurt. All right, so morning, everyone. Afternoon for Rudy and his group in Amsterdam. Getting close to afternoon, I guess.
Yes.
So, couple of things, I guess. The queue doesn't look as horrible as it has in the past couple of weeks, which is fantastic. I know my team has been working to adjust a few things that were causing some issues, and there was some underlying issues we noticed with fair setup and things like that were causing a huge amount of message rejects over the last month, I guess, almost since early February. But we did sort that out early last week, and we do see an improvement in failures since then. There's been some constant changes and fixes that have to be done, and their guys are working pretty well daily to get everything sorted for you guys as much as we can, right? So anyhow, aside from that, there's still a few things that are interrupting the process and the flow, and this queue does have to be action / check / monitored the same as any system would have any sort of queue, because anything can fail at any given time. The only unfortunate thing we have, and I'm working to get this cleared, it's taking time because I have to find it and do it day by day. This monitor messages, this counter is heavily skewed with a lot of past data. So I think up as far as January 6th, things are cleared up, but beyond January 6th, I still have a fair amount of old messages that are sitting on the various queues that are causing this counter to be off. Ideally, this counter should be reflecting the number that's in the current day or current 2 days worth of data, but it's counting messages back almost 2 months right now. So in this screen, the screen for anyone who's interested or concerned or trying to figure out this screen, it basically is designed much like a regular email inbox. There's two views. There's an inbox and an outbox. Outbox is everything that's sent, and the inbox is anything that's coming in.
Curtis?
Yes.
Are you sharing a screen?
I believe I am, but it's not going through.
No.
Come on, screens.
My screen, you've been sharing screen of Curtis.
Yes.
Okay, you can see the screen now. Sorry about that. All right, let me restart just so my screen share was off. So, as I was saying, the GDS messages screen under the operations menu, GDS, and there's GDS messaging, there's AVS recaps, which really should only be for Natasha or Ida to be using, someone in that group. It's not a day-to-day for everybody to have access and use. The schedule recaps, that's a tool that Ida is using for keeping the schedule up to date. And then the GDS monitor at the bottom here, which when turned on reflects this counter at the bottom here. And as I was saying, this number is heavily off right now and inaccurate because there's a lot of previous unhandled, unsorted messages from the go live that have kind of been ignored and left to sit there. So in this main GDS screen, this main message screen, it's designed like an email sort of flow. It has an inbox and an outbox. The inbox is everything coming into Suriname Airways. The outbox is everything going out from Suriname Airways. You can toggle the view just by clicking on inbox or outbox. And it's loading all of the sent messages for today, which is obviously a high number. I'm going to have to change that view for the next few screens. Okay, so back on the left-hand side, we have a type and a status box. In the type, we have the various message classifications. So there's PNR, AVS, unknown, which is basically any message that we either don't process because of the type, or there's something incorrect in the message and it gets dumped into the unknown queue because it's not properly formatted for whatever reason coming in. P&R response, most times that box on the inbox side will be empty. Next one we have is obviously the ADL. You're not accepting ADL messages, but you are sending them. So if I switch over to the sent box and go to out, you can look up an ADL for any flight that was sent for today. DVD messages, same thing. Any that are incoming will be in the receive queue. If they don't process automatically, that is. You can filter this out to look at just divide requests from travel agencies. New arrival information, that will be in the case of an interline segment. New continuation information, so that's an onward segment, again, in an interline booking situation. Your PFS message, now disabled from iPort because we have it going to the reservation control inbox, and it was just sitting here and causing additional messages that weren't being cleaned up. Advice of schedule change, you're not accepting them, but you are sending them. So if I flip to the outbox, there's some that were sent yesterday. Yes. Movement messages you're not sending because you're doing all of your flight departure stuff in iPort. E-ticket list, you are not sending one to Travelport because you're using the direct integration through iPort back to the e-ticket database to mark the coupons as used. SSM messages, you're not taking in any, but you are sending them out. Haven't sent any today. So once Ida sends her messages, she can actually check here and make sure that they're sent out. She should also check the receive box to make sure that either Amadeus or Travelport or OAG or Innovata doesn't reject the message for any given reason, because that can happen from time to time as well. So this is an inbox. We don't process there's nothing that we can do with the rejection notice on the SSM, so it does hit the receive queue for somebody to look at. If it's there and you take note of the message, it'll be down here. You just set it to process once you've taken note of the reason why it was sent back to you. Name change queue, you guys do not permit name changes, so we turned off the ability to do name changes. These messages will have to be taken out of queue, so if you don't use them, you'll have to process them. So is that correct in saying that, Natasha, that you don't ever allow a name change?
Yes, not from the GDS.
Okay, so they can't suppress that message. We've asked it in the past before for other carriers who don't allow name changes. So the name change tag will come to the airline. It has to come to them. They can't stop it. It's a standard message apparently.
Okay, so if we go into this name change queue, we see the reject notification, right?
You don't have to do anything. You don't have to reject it unless you're. So this one here is a group, so it's a little bit different. So you're getting name changes for groups, so you obviously must do a change on that because you can't leave it as group, but you can reject it.
Okay, in this case, it is group.
Yeah, so this one here is a better example. This one here is a better example.
No, but go back to the group for a minute.
Back to the group? Okay.
Yes. So the group is there, and now the group must insert their names.
Yeah. So
that is what they have been doing.
Yeah, so they've given 2 out of the 20.
Yeah, how do we accept this then? It's allowed.
A name change is automatically done. So it's done on the travel agency side. It's already accepted. So all you need to do is change the names that are requested to be changed. So adding those 2 names to that P&R.
All right.
Would be what you're doing. So you take this one and you search it based on the locator. So it's not even booked. So this group's not even booked. So this one here.
I got to take a note of this one.
What's the group's name? Fans.
It's a beach group out of Curacao.
Okay. If we move then to the one above.
So this one here, they've already made this name change. So this one is already changed in the GDS. So I in regards to how you reject the name change, I've asked before. I've asked a couple of different GDSs, and they said there's no way you can because they don't. The change is made.
Isn't changed that. This is the old name. They asked to change it to Benadin, if I'm correct.
Correct. So this is the old name, right here.
Yeah.
The old name.
Yeah.
And they're asking you to change it to this name.
Yes.
So.
But if we yes, and it's another complete other name. Maiden name.
It's a completely different name. Every piece of the name is different.
Oh.
I
should reject this one. Can I say something? I should reject this one because you can see that this is not a misspelled name or a maiden name case, because the family name and the first name are both completely different, and even the gender. So this is a name change that should be rejected.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct. So you would reject this one. Now, I don't have the response code for rejecting a name change. I'm just trying to find it here now.
I think I have it somewhere in my documents. I will send it out.
I'll look it up and send it to you, if not, Natasha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes.
So how do we reject it?
Sorry, say that again, Ida.
How do we reject it?
So you'll have to respond to it, clicking reply.
Okay.
And leaving this information as is. And that's what I don't have is the name change rejection code. I'm just trying to look it up in our dictionary here on the other screen, but I don't have it right now. So you just do the name change or do the rejection and press send. And that will process the message, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So everything, and again, it works just like email. So you highlight the message you need to respond to, and you click reply.
But if you click reply, don't you have to change the status to process?
No, it changes it on its own when you press send.
The status is on pending now.
Now automatically, because you're in the process to send it. So when you click send, it'll change it from pending to processed.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's how the messages flow. If it receives and you hit reply, it changes to a pending status while you're putting in the new information. When you click send, it processes it for you.
So it will be taken out of the received message box.
Yes, that's correct. It'll take them all out of the different receive queues. So there are different queues, like I said. You can also track the PNR Gov messages that are going out. Right, so there's your PNR Govs that were sent for the US flights. You're not receiving any. The frequent traveler list, that's coming in empty. So for this one here, we can't process it because there's no actual number, no frequent traveler numbers in there coming from iPort. So for this one here, you need to open it up and process it. See, we're unable to process the FTL because it's empty. There's just business and economy with no details.
Yeah.
So I just save that and it's gone. It's cleared. It's out of the queue. Okay. The PAL and the CAL, these are sent to Amsterdam. They're only outgoing messages. There's the two messages there. That's the PAL, and there's the CAL. And that's the send. So that's sending out the wheelchair, any changes in wheelchairs or any other sort of passenger request mobile assistance requests. So obviously the one that's causing the most grief is the receive queue and the PNR side of things. And the unknown queue. Those are the two that are basically causing you the most of your messages, right?
Yeah.
There are some hitting the divide queue. Now this one here is divided. I'd have to see why it didn't divide the reservation and look it up, but we'll get to that one in a moment. All right.
Yes.
So there are the three important queues for Suriname Airways: is the PNR type, the unknown type, the DVD type, and then for IDA and scheduling, it's the SSM type as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're all inbound. Those can all have inbound. The change name, someone is going to have to take the responsibility to review the change name queue as well. The CH.
Okay.
Right? So it comes out to being four main queues. You have your PNR, your UNK, your DVD, and CHNT. They're the four main ones that need to be monitored, because those four are what's causing the accumulation in this GDS counter. FTL, I was going to shut that one down from iPort, but the intention is that iPort will start collecting the frequent traveler number, and then if we shut it down, you won't be able to update your frequent travelers. So this one should be checked from time to time, once a day, twice a day maybe, and just clean out the FTLs that are in there at this time if there's no details in them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. So when you open this screen, it defaults to a type of all, which lumps everything together that's received for the one day, and that makes it messy to work, and you don't know which ones to action first. So obviously the PNR ones that have failed for some unforeseen reason at this time, and they need to be actioned because the travel agency is waiting for a response, most likely. So the oldest messages are always going to be at the bottom of the list. Always.
Okay.
So this one here was a cancellation from Sabre for a particular file, but I left this one here purposely. I noticed it yesterday. This travel agency is trying to cancel the file from the 31st of January. So if I take this locator and go back and actually look it up, which I did yesterday, the passenger was in plane on January 31st.
Oh.
But still the agent is trying to cancel it.
So how did this?
Maybe they have selected the incorrect segment number. Should be that a reason, and they couldn't ignore it.
That's possible. That's possible. So in this situation here, there's nothing to do. We couldn't cancel it, and you just need to get it out of the queue.
Only change the status in the process then?
That's correct.
And
so
see?
To get it out of the queue, you just take the status from received to processed and save it. And now it's gone. It's done, it's cleared, it's processed. All right, so now we have the next one here from yesterday evening. So we have a cancellation on the 463 for May 10. They want to sell 463 to 6th of May, PVM AUA, and then continuing on to Avianca. So double clicking the message. So here's a situation where the passenger has started travel because there's multiple payments on file. So we cannot automatically add the leg to the file because the travel agent is not aware of the in-between charges. So the e-ticket doesn't cover the additional payments that are on this file. So this locator, and we're going out here to see what's going on. So the passenger has already traveled on the 8th of February, and they want to change this from the 10th of May to the 6th of May. So I'm assuming there's an extra baggage. Yep, so they had excess weight when they traveled. As a result, at this time, because of the way the baggage charges are being collected, or just there's extra baggage being collected at travel, there's no correlation. The travel agent can no longer make changes to the file because it may erase the extra charges and put credits on file. So what you would have to do in this situation is decide if you can actually make that change. So it's May 6th instead of May 10. So you're coming over to the file, you'll do a change segment. Take this one, edit, backdate it to the 6th. Paramaribo Aruba, by schedule. We have tons of seats. K class, I do believe. So they were looking for a K class.
Why is it red?
But K class is not an option for me.
But it has availability.
25.
But based on the... I don't know if it's based on the previous class. So if this is the case, what I would do here is I would edit the route.
But our segment's already in place.
Because the segment is already in place.
Yeah.
The fare class is there. Move it. So now it's confirmed. The 6th of May in the K class as they wanted. So you're coming back.
Usually a balance pops up if we do that.
There's no balance going to come up in the edit route here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So in this situation now, I'm just changing the DK to a KK. Taking out all this top information here because it's not needed. Inserting a line here, PBM, PY, 77DG, 5DJ, KK, and send. And that one goes out of the queue as well. So now we're on to the next one in the list. So this one here is a group booking requesting 16 Arabelle tours. So you guys do your group bookings the way you're doing them, because I spoke with Kurt last night, and those are, he said him and Sunina had worked on them yesterday and everything is okay with the group bookings. Is that correct?
Yes, they emailed the group yesterday.
Okay.
This is also one of
This is another group, yes.
Same travel agency.
This is also another group, but they're looking to cancel this group.
I already canceled it.
Okay, so if you've already cancelled it, you need to take the message out.
To process. Okay.
So here we have the same thing. They're looking to cancel this group. Did you guys already cancel this one?
This is the Diamonds group?
Yes, it's the Diamonds group, yes.
Yeah, it's already cancelled.
Okay, so if it's already cancelled, then we go to processed. Okay. So this one here is a single passenger reservation. There is one cancellation and one confirm. So obviously the travel agent has just looked at the file in their system, because every time they open the file, it just resends a message to us. So
so that's why we get the same message 5 or 6 times.
correct. Every time they open a message, they can't stop the send. So the message comes, we'll get a copy to us. We'll get a copy of it sent to us.
Okay.
So,
so
again, we'll check this one. And here's another situation where they're trying to, they want to cancel the 31st of May and keep the 5th of March available, right? But they've already traveled on the 5th of March, and there's been extra baggage charges.
Yeah.
So you need to change the segment.
The 5th of
Cancel.
No. Oh, just cancel the segment.
Cancel the segment. Now, in regards to the cancellation charge, are you collecting those, Natasha, from the travel agencies? Are they submitting the cancellation charges?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so you leave it apply.
But may I say something? It's the accounting department who is controlling this.
Right, that's right.
We do not have to add any.
No,
I
it
think
automatically gets added on its own.
Okay.
Yeah, Rudy, it will be sent out.
Okay.
So there's a credit of -37 on there because they've paid 212. So if you want to remove that credit, you go to charges. You find one of the e-ticket payments, the ones that are paid by ET method, and you do a refund of the $37 because there is no credit on file. Or, yeah, there's no credit on this file. There shouldn't be. How do you handle that, Natasha? Will you leave the credit for future use, or are you removing the credit?
Remove.
Well, this is at the time still a pending case here at certain airways because we had some cancellations and we left it. So we have to discuss this with the team of Paramaribo and ask how to handle, because we've noticed that a passenger with a promo ticket, which is non-refundable, called to cancel his reservation, and then I saw that was a big minus on the booking. I think something about $200, and we've learned during the session that we should be very careful with the minus balance in the bookings.
Correct. So but if you have a promo fare and you're getting a credit left on there, then the cancellation fee is not set properly on the fare.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think the due credits you were getting, Ruby, should be solved now because the fare department have already adjusted the penalties.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case here, will we leave the credit for accounting to balance, or do you want me to remove it immediately?
Remove.
Okay, so back to the charges. Select one of the e-ticket payments and refund at 37. But you have to refund it to the e-ticket payment and not the cash. Or the reason you're refunding that is because the value of it was paid against the value of that ticket. Okay, so now there's no refund due. The cancellation fee is collected, and that's your charges. Close this one out. You don't need to respond to a cancellation. You just need to process it because they're not waiting for a response to the cancellation. That's our group. This one here. So what have we got? This one here came in from Sabre. We had cancel April 8th to the 12th, 462, 463, and rebook 462, 463, 8 and 12 Miami, Paramaribo. So basically doing a complete change. So we failed the processing on this one. I'm based on the error. It's fare related. Either the X or the N are causing issues on that day. So
yeah,
I will take a look at this one to see where we're to. Okay. So we have the X and we have the N. So these two legs are not canceling the 2 and the 3. So you can try two things with this one. You can try to reprocess it by double clicking on it. Click the book button. You can see it has the 2 cancel segments for the Y class and it has your 2 confirmed. So if everything is okay, it should just clear it out. So it did. Right. So this one processed. So at the time this came in, there was some issue in building it. I'm going to take note of that locator so we can look at it further. because we did look at one like this earlier this week. I click OK. Now that message has gone to the pending queue, and it's right here. So you can respond to this one if you wish with the locator, just giving the travel agent the case, which is HYJC2Z. So reply. YZ E2J. I think that's right. HYJC2Z. Okay. So just to confirm, so that they know that their changes are good. Send out.
So we don't have to change the HK to KK because it's already all
That's
right.
correct. That's already all right, yeah. You'd only have to change a DK or an SS or an NN to a KK.
So DK, SS, and
NN.
NN.
All right, so this one is the group. So we have this one here now. It's a Galileo booking. So they have a HK for March 8th and March 15th. They're looking for a H-class Paramaribo to Miami. And travel has already started on this one. There's additional payments, so that's the reason we can't add the leg automatically. So with this one, we just go and add the leg and do a confirmation. So there's March 8th, and they wanted March 15th. So change segment. Add 15th of March, MIA PBM. MIA PBM. I forget the fare class. You need to take note of the fare class when you're at it. H. Right here you can see the buttons are disabled when I'm on segment 1 because it's cancelled. But if I move down through, it'll give me the ability to add segment 4. So 1503, 15th March, MIA PBM. And I'm looking for H class firm. And the H class is available. 1 passenger, select and book. Close. The button has gone red because we have no tickets for it.
Okay.
And we will take the locator, so 3 Juliet Foxtrot Victor Yankee Charlie, and reply. Foxtrot Victor Yankee Charlie. Change this to KK. Have our correct locator, KK, and send it out. And the last one that's there is the 2 groups. So that's your receive queue, and we've been on the call for almost an hour, and obviously the volume is not high coming in here. So there's no unmanageable amounts in the actual PNRs. The unknown queue is a different beast. So there's a couple of different reasons from what I can see in here, with messages sitting in the duplicate queue.
Okay.
There's quite a number, right back to midnight. As well, you can do a number of different search displays, so you can view a particular day. So if I look at today, it's not so bad. If I look at yesterday, not yesterday. February is not so great. If I look at yesterday, there's still quite a number of unknown messages sitting in here.
But I think a lot of them are double.
Correct, they are. I've been working with Amadeus to figure out why they're sending the PDMs, because if I can get them to identify it, I think we can identify the issue across the board for all. But Amadeus is the only one that's actually, at this point, willing to work with you guys to determine why there's a PDM message. Travelport seems to think it's irrelevant and it's okay, and I don't like it, so I moved on to the next provider and asked them to help us out. So this one here, excuse me, is an NAC message, which means there's no actual action for Suriname Airways. It's the changes in the KL segment.
What does the NAC mean?
It's a no action, really.
Action, okay.
Right, so no action. So when you see that one, you just take it out of the queue. Same way with this one here. There's changes, but it's all around the KL segments.
Yeah, there isn't even a PY segment.
Not on this part of it, no. So there's no reason to continue going through it. So here's a possible dupe message. So there is one PY DK segment in there.
But there's no name.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. There's no first name though. It's an incorrect
We can
format.
reject incorrect name, maybe.
That will be up to you guys how you wish to handle this one, but I would check and see if it actually exists. I would check and see if it actually exists first. So it's already cancelled. So we've already cancelled it.
Oh.
So they didn't ticket it.
Fired, yeah.
Okay, so they didn't even ticket this one. So
Go back to the queue.
So to this one here, I would reply, take out the PDM. You see that leg. That's the only PY leg is on there. That one is cancelled. You see this one and send it out.
Don't you have to put the rectificator of Amelia in this one?
Sorry?
Don't you have to put the rectificator and more? The Amelia of rectificator?
I can't hear what you're saying, Ida.
She's asking if you must mention our record locator also.
Not at this point, no. You don't need to, not in this case, because you're just sending it out. It'll go back. It'll always go back to their record locator.
And because it's already cancelled, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
Okay.
That one's gone. So then we have the next one, a duplicate from Galileo. Okay, check and see if it's an actual duplicate, because sometimes...
It probably is. This is a frequent traveler.
Oh, okay.
It always shops at different travel agencies.
Okay, so the file looks to be somewhat similar, just from first glance. So they wanted B on March 8 and H on March 9. So they've changed to, this is in a K, but they wanted, so somebody manually added this segment.
Yes, I changed it to the K because it was in another PNR they had it, but they worked, I think. Yeah, they worked in this one. Yeah,
So you did a fair change, Tanina, from an H to a K.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a dupe, but are they aware that they have a K?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so what you can do in this situation is find out what all the messages related to that locator are, simply by taking the display and changing it to a locator display. Paste in your locator, change your type to all, and the status to all. But make sure you have it set to locator first, and then you can find out what you were. So you were ticketed for a K and a B. So back in the unknown queue,
Mm.
You don't really, this is an old message, so you don't even really have to respond to this one because this one got missed in the process.
Yeah.
So what I would do with this one, save it and clear it. So this one here as an infant, there's no mention of the PY locator here. We'll check it and see. With most of these duplicates, you really need to check and see if you've received and processed other messages for them.
Yeah, it's already.
So this one was already processed, so
Just need to add here.
if it's already processed, they have what they need in regards to it. You can always look up the file and make sure that it's has the correct information, so the infant is on there in this case, and the segments match up before you clear it. So I see one female, one infant, 994, 28 of, and 993, 28 and 2nd of June. 28 of April, 2nd of June, one infant, one female. So I'll clear out this message. New continuation information, so that means even though you didn't get the continuation segments, so it's not much point to sending you new continuation details if they don't send you the actual continuation segments to update the PNR. So with this one, you can just process it. If the continuation segments are on there, like if the other airline segments are there, you can take out the NCO and just push it through to update the PNR. If we find, hopefully we'll find one, then we can go through it.
Yeah.
So here's another one, the same thing. The onward details are not in here. Now,
So the no continuation, why did it come into the queue?
it dumps it in there because it's an automatically, it should be putting it in this queue, but it's, for some reason, I'll have to check and see why it's dumping it in here today. They should be going in over there. So again, no onward, so we'll just process it and clear it. If anybody's taking note, the counter is actually going down on the bottom there. So we were at 2130. So checking this one. Again, duplicates, and we see the majority of your duplicate messages coming from Galileo.
Yeah.
And I'm working to find out why. My goal is to cut these down immensely in the next couple of weeks.
Curtis,
Yes.
can I say something?
For sure.
In this case, I see that the travel agency has booked the Yankee class, but we do not have published Yankee fare class. So that's the reason, I think.
No, that's not the reason. That's not the reason it's a duplicate. So that means there's more instances of this locator somewhere. They've probably already gotten a UC for the Yankee class. So you've processed this one. So here's the first one they got. It was rejected. Yeah. So they got a reject out, no fare found for Y class, and response was sent. So if I flip to the sent queue, there's the UC that went out, no fare found for the given booking code and the Y. So then they rebooked in Romeo and they got a locator.
Okay.
And there's the ADTK line with the UTC timestamp so that they know it's UTC and not local time. So going back here, unknown for yesterday. We're taking this one out as well. As you can see, if we could get to the bottom of why Travelport or why Galileo is sending such a high volume of these duplicate messages, the amount of work that you would have to do is minimal.
Curtis?
Yes.
Who did you contact from Galileo?
I contacted Jonathan Simpkins about it a while ago, but I'm going to contact him again there now to see, because at the last time he said it was a nominal number. I'm going to bring it up with him again and see if we can determine the why.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yes.
So here's another one. We can check and see if this one is booked. So it's been booked, obviously, but it's never been ticketed. 8th of March. Victor class. PBM Belém. So you can do a lookup and see if there's anything processed on this one. They obviously should have a locator. Paste. So what all in all does, it looks at everything of the type, any status to tell you what happened. So when I look at this here, yesterday you did process the message because it says processed. Back to Galileo, the action, Reza, type PNR. If I open it up, I can see it was automatically processed because everything is grayed out and locked, and it tells me auto processed. Response was sent, so they did get a locator for that one. There's no point of making any changes to it. Next one is an interesting one. Next one comes from Amadeus. No, sorry. The next one comes from WorldSpan. And they're looking for a record locator. They already have your record locator.
Well, there isn't a bracket between the record locator and the 1111. That was also one of the points I
Right here, they have your record locator, GG5 PPX. GG5 PPX. But it already cancelled. They let the hold expire on the reservation. Okay. So they're looking for the 25th of August, 3 seats. So if we take their locator, we check the processed again. So there's a number of messages here. So they made a booking here. And they've made a couple of times. They've let the hold expire on this a number of times since February 20th by the looks of it, because they had an original locator here of this one. They still held it here. They rebooked that one. Then it looks like they let the hold expire, so they rebooked 3 for the 17th and 25th of August again. They got a second locator for this one. And then they let the hold expire again because we're 3-day break, so you're 72 hours. They got a new locator. So this is the new locator for GG5. Then later in that day, they're still saying they want a confirmation here. So they didn't get a confirmation on the 25th. It rejected they need 3 seats and there's only 1 seat in each on the 25th. So it tells me the demand 3, which is here, exceeds the availability of 1 for the booking code H on August 25th. So you can't give them 3 if you don't have 3. So that's your decision if you want to add the 2 seats to give them the 3, or if you just want to outright UC it.
Okay.
But you can offer also the next available class, right?
So Lima.
You can.
Lima.
So they're still they're still here waiting for. So now there's 0 seats in each. So you would have to change the class and book it, or I guess determine which.
Question: isn't it the reason why they are requesting these seats? It's because at their end they do see the class available.
They're seeing limited availability, but they don't know what the limit is.
Or they can't see the limit.
They're seeing the class with limited availability, so it's on request only because this is from.
Okay.
They'll show a request only status, less than.
Okay.
I think you're less than 4 for that.
4, yeah.
I'll just double check. Yeah, so 3 actually. You should probably bring up that buffer to 4, because at 3 they still think there's full availability.
Okay, could you?
I can change that to 4.
Yeah.
Now, when you're 3 or when you're 4 or less, now once it goes less than 4, they'll get the request status, and then you're not.
All right, perfect.
Okay. So
perfect.
They're looking for this. There's actually no seats in H on this class. So if you wanted to offer the next available class, you would change the class. So whichever. What's the next one? Lima.
Lima.
Okay, so you could do that and try to book it. Actually, before we do that, see what the last message was asking us to do. So they're still looking for that Lima class. So if that's the case, we'll book it through. If we can get seats. So we do CM3 CD4. All right, and we're looking for this one here is now pending. So we will respond to it. KK with Lima. CM3 CD4.
So with the same yes locator, you can have a different UI locator.
Sorry, say that again.
With the same GDS locator that they have now,
well, that's what's happening in some cases, because they're booking and they're letting the hold expire. So when they come back to rebook, they're getting a new locator and they're not paying attention to it.
Oh,
yeah. True.
Yeah.
So actually, with this one, we're going to have to make a change, because we have to add, before we send out anything, we have to add that July 17th in H class for them. Make sure that they have everything they need. So CM3 CD4. Do they have everything? So 17H and L, they have everything they need. Okay, so they just need the ticket. Going back, reservation. So we'll respond. Clear out the additional header information. CM3 CD4. KK. All right, so we have everything they need here. They have everything they need. Send it out.
And then it changed from pending to processed.
Then it changes from pending to processed, and this one here is already processed. So this one's processed. This pending one here will clear, and we'll make it processed as well, because we've done everything we needed to do with it. Right. So that whole locator set there now is all processed. So there's nothing pending or on anywhere for that one. Back you yesterday. So we're about halfway through yesterday's day. Oh, this one here, we don't need to do anything because that's the same message. GG5, so that's when we just cleared up. And now we're not scrolling. So this one here, this is Apollo requesting a seat, but they're sending the seat request in an unsupported message to us.
Emailed it to me yesterday, claiming that they didn't receive a locator. They needed 3 seats in the business class, so we had made 3 different bookings. But I handled it already.
Yeah, so this one here tells me they're looking for a seat.
Yes.
Yeah, so Nina, this is a seat request. You see SSR seat?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
what they mean, but the format is incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, the BPR.
This one came in. Oh, yeah, and
So you're saying this one is already booked, Sunana?
yes, I made the reservation myself and then put their GDS locator, but we didn't have business class on March on the date that they were asking.
Okay.
So I emailed them the new PNR. There was another one as well. We only had 1 seat. We needed 3.
Okay, so here's the one, yeah.
This is the one.
So they're also looking, in this situation, this one here, this is not the booking though. They're looking for, he's actually looking for seats. So they're requesting an invalid format. We need a row and a seat. They're looking for just a seat.
Okay.
All right, so first available seat in business, RS type. So you will see those from time to time where we've asked, and these are probably all the same one, are they? Rogers.
Yeah.
Rogers.
Thanks.
Different passenger and different passenger. Okay, so all 4 of these messages are together. So you do have the booking for this one.
For the Jones? Yes, that's the one you just opened.
Yeah, that's the one I just opened. So do you assign the seats like this, Natasha, for somebody, or would you only give them a requested seat because they're just requesting any seat?
Or you mean like a seat number?
Yes, an actual seat to sit in.
Yeah, that's what's being requested, but the format is incorrect. That's why you've got it as a reject.
Oh.
So they're just requesting a seat, any seat number, any business class seat, March 30th to 6th of April.
But this passenger Jones, he is not booked in the business class.
Okay, so
For the return, he has the business class.
So for the return,
I also told the agent we don't have that many. We don't have business class anymore for that flight.
For this flight?
Yes, for the March 30th.
Okay.
Miami Paramaribo. She needed 3. We only had 1, so
right.
She got 1, but the other 2.
All right. So he's just requesting an individual seat here. Are you seating him on a random request, or do you require an actual seat number, Natasha?
Actually, it's random.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, is she going to ticket this one, Sunina?
Yes, she will. I emailed her this morning, maybe an hour ago.
Oh, okay. So keep an eye on that because we'll have
to. So, Nina, question.
Yeah.
After you modified the reservation for the agency, did they see everything well at their end?
Yes, they did, because yesterday I made the reservation as well for the 1 business class seat that we did have.
Right.
And I linked the GDS locator, and then she was able to ticket it.
So if I could make one suggestion there, Sunina.
Maybe we can look into that PNR as well.
No, so if I could
let's finish this part first.
Instead of you reading this information off here and going out and going by schedule and making the booking,
yeah,
it would be better if you would double click on the message and try to book it.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Because if you do that, now the travel agency can actually link back to it. Their locator is on there, but there could be issues with the tickets when they come in for this file. I will have to update this one for you now.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's why I was asking if everything is well at their end.
For the one that we did have, I saw it this morning that she added a payment. So
She didn't add payment to this one.
No, not this one. The other one. Do you need that locator?
EZQ Q6. So would this be the one she added the payment to?
No, no. The one she added the payment to is. Blue uniform 4, Delta Tango Quebec.
Could you repeat it?
Zulu uniform 4, Delta Tango Quebec. I did go into the queue yesterday because she gave me her GDS locator, but I wasn't able to look at that
So I
time.
have to flip the flag on this one now because of I can't see the tickets, right?
Oh yeah.
So the tickets are on there.
The tickets are not generated.
Oh, the tickets are generated. I can see that they're generated because I can see that.
I mean,
how
being
it's paid.
reflected. It's not reflected. Yeah.
Yes, right. So that's why if you instead of going here and manually making the booking like this, it's better if you push them through from here using the book button because then that puts the orange color line here with the G and the E and everything there, and then the message is completely linked to the travel agency. So the ticket will be seen, everything is fine.
I wanted to do it like that as well, but I think I wasn't doing it the way I was supposed to.
Okay, so these are all seat requests. So again, these are random seat requests, and he has these confirmations. So I'm going to take out these seat requests because they're groups as well. So this is the other one. All right, so that brings us up to same passenger again. So these are all duplicates. So what does Galileo want in this one? So this one is a duplicate, or we're seeing it as a duplicate for some reason. They want to cancel 2 PY segments, add a PY for 11th of March, different class of service, and the same thing at G class going back. So we need to find out if this is done and if it's truly a duplicate or if it's not. So the easiest way to do that, take the travel agency's locator and find out what we have. So we have the 11th of March in a B, and 10th of June in a G. And we can tell everything is fine with this because they've ticketed already. You do have your tickets. This truly is a duplicate send-off from Galileo. So we'll just clear that one from the queue because you don't need to do anything. They've got the locator back because they've been able to ticket. Everything is okay. All right. So just get that one out of your way and move on. Same goes for this one here.
For the clear period.
Is there any questions so far, guys?
No.
Well,
the only problem when I had yesterday I tried to send some messages. The agents received the message, but it was for me unable to find the book button. So I know how, or maybe I have to try it by myself. And since I was not able to get a book button, I made a new PNR in Amelia Res, and then I got a balance. And I think that I've balanced it a little bit incorrectly because I got the financial impact. But yeah, next time I will be more careful with that.
Okay, so this one here is fine. They've received, from what I can tell, the booking has already gone through. They do have the confirmation. So if this had not been a true duplicate, this second segment for April 16th would not be confirmed. Okay, so they did get what they want. They wanted a U class on both flights, correct dates. So Galileo did see this did send a second follow-up message for this one. So I'll just clear it. What have we got here? We have Jennifer Simmons. This is Waldo's Travel. Close up some of these because I'm running out of sessions. All right, so this one looks like it's somewhat okay, and it's all ticketed, so I'm assuming everything is fine. Just doing a review to make sure. So they wanted a business class 463, March 11. And we have a, so yeah, so this message doesn't even have the 462 notification on there, and it has 2 American Airlines segments. They've actually changed it to CM. So there's no, this is an old message. This has all been processed. This has all been processed after, yeah, so the timing on this would be, well, yeah, so these all happened after. This is an old message, so you clean this one out. So this is a Sabre. This one from Sabre, duplicate again. So this one didn't actually book.
No.
This one here hasn't booked from what I can tell. So we'll copy, go to the locator, paste this in, we'll change to all, and do a find. So it actually did actually book, but it was a cancellation, so they canceled both legs.
But why is one on XX and the other one?
One is interactive cancel, so they've canceled it over Type A. They've canceled it during the request, and the other one they just cleaned up and canceled out their segment. Okay. So we can actually, as a result of that, we can remove this one. So they never even got to ticketing with this one. The customer changed their mind somewhere along the way. So with this one here, we're just checking again. The big thing here is to make sure you're not missing files, missing locators, things like that. All right, so there's
23 July and the Romeo and then Victor.
29. So
It's okay. This one should be changed. Oh, it needs Romeo.
No, yeah. So this is an old message as well. So when she finally got confirmation, we can check and see exactly if the Romeo class is.
The X-ray is cheaper.
That's fine. She booked the Romeo class, which the first one that she booked was X-ray and Victor. She didn't get any response, or she did, couldn't find any seats for the X code on that flight, so she got a response. She got a UC on X.
And then she rebooked to the
So she
Romeo.
rebooked in Victor, Romeo, and Victor, and she got a response. There's her confirmation. So when this finishes, Natasha, I'll do a full AVS recap to update the statuses based on that change of AVS indicator.
Yeah.
That'll clean up any discrepancies that are out there based on the 3 and 4 flag.
Okay.
For the buffer. Okay. So it'll convert any that's on request status to open or vice versa, any that are not. So we can clear this one out. This is a Sabre one. So he's looking for 1 seat April 3rd. He's looking for 2. So we can copy and so the last message in the sequence is this one. The other ones are in rejected, so somewhere here he's 10th of March, which he wanted. Then he got the 31st of March, and then they cancelled. So they didn't want any of it in the end. They just recently cancelled it this morning, so instead of ticketing, the passenger didn't want it. So once they got confirmation, they changed their mind. So we can take this one out. Okay. Galileo again. This is an agency in Paramaribo. You probably know the agency then, right? Okay.
It's Waldo's.
It is Waldo's Travel? Okay.
Yeah, the 7CJ6 is their code.
Oh, okay. And is Satnam Travel in Paramaribo, are they on Amadeus and Galileo?
Yes, they are using both.
But more Amadeus.
No. They are using both.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen the name
More
linked to,
Amadeus PNRs.
I've seen the name linked to both. So they wanted to cancel the 10th of May.
Yeah.
The 6th of May they wanted, and then they have an Avianca segment on the 6th of May. So this one's fine. This is a true duplicate as well. Not that one. This one. A good indication of them being a true duplicate is if the tickets are already on file. Most cases that will mean that they've already gotten what they've been looking for and they've moved on. Let's check this one. Okay, so that one didn't book. So now we need to see why. Again, they've cancelled it, so it's just shopping at that point. Yeah, and they were going, okay, so yeah. So this one here, WorldSpan is looking for the locator. It's 2 different PNRs. So
I think we really did the other one.
somebody mentioned something about this 1111 is.
Yes, I just asked if
Okay.
I format because you told us to add a slash somewhere.
Right here, yeah. Now, WorldSpan told me they were supposed to have that updated and changed, like last week.
Okay.
So I'm going to check back with them on that.
Okay. So if we manually added the slash, it would.
No, because they're trying to waitlist. Actually, they're trying to waitlist one person on the.
Curtis, can I say something?
Yes.
I didn't deleted the slash and my message went through.
No, it's
When I
not
had
delete the
towards
slash. You didn't add the
uh,
slash. You're not adding it.
no, I didn't change anything and my message went to the agent.
Okay, because they had the
It was
same.
a Wilston agent.
Yeah, they had a similar issue last week with another one of our carriers, and they fixed it. But they said they fixed it for all carriers, that the point of sale line was updated properly.
Okay.
But in this situation here, they're trying to waitlist that person on the 28th of April in U class. And in this one here, it's
This is the one we just did. We changed the hotel to the Lima class.
right. Okay, I knew there was something looked familiar in this one. Let's clear it. So you've already done this one. So this one here, it's a wait list. So are you waitlisting? You don't waitlist right now.
No.
So they've let the hold expire 3 times on this one. That's possibly because they've been trying to waitlist. They were booked. Or were they booked in originally here? So they did originally have a U class on February the 18th for this, but it's possibly sold out since then, or not available. So they've cancelled this one. Then you can kind of move it along. Now we're back into seat requests.
This is the one, the business class, that the booking I just made myself.
Okay, so you have this one booked, but they're looking for seats. So
Okay. Seat number. So I
yes,
have to choose them. Okay. And after I select the seat for them, do I have to send it back or?
you would reply with a KK here.
Oh.
Replace the NN, and you
And
can
the
put
seat
in.
number?
You put the so say 24 2A or 2B. Put it there, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Or you can actually leave because they're not requesting a particular seat. You can just respond with a KK here, and they have their seats confirmed.
Curtis, what's the signifier for waitlisting?
HL or LL. UL.
Okay.
So we'll come back to that one. So for this one here, you want to give him the seats. So he's looking for actual seats, right? So select seat. So 1C or 2C, doesn't matter which whenever you want to give him.
Yes.
1C.
The other one also.
1C.
Yeah. 1C.
Okay. So now he has 1C, 1C. Close there. So reply.
And then KK. And then 1C.
And yeah. 1 Charlie. 1 Charlie.
So are we supposed to put the PY PNR also?
Yes, I'm not finished. PMPY. Oh, I think I just got. Sorry, what was it? Zulu?
Uniform 4
Delta.
Tango Quebec.
Quebec. And you send out. Okay. So this is a record locator one. I think this is the one that was previously cancelled, but we'll check and see. Okay, so this one has been confirmed for a while, but they want their record locator. So it's Alpha Papa 3 Whiskey Yankee 7. So just give them that.
Alpha Papa.
Papa 3 Whiskey Yankee 7. So wait now, what do they need? They're looking for...
Tango. They have Tango all the way.
Yeah, but they're looking for HN and HN, so they're looking for Tango on different dates though.
Oh.
Okay, so they were looking for Tango on the 3rd of May, which they got, and they want the 30th of June, which they got. Okay, so just making sure. So HK. HK.
What does HN mean?
Holding need. So that was an in-between message. They did get the locator eventually after. So they're still holding it, waiting on a confirmation from you. Okay. And we already did this guy's seats. That's a different guy looking for seat, and this is the same guy looking for seat. So this one here, this one is a duplicate of it. So we'll clear that one, and then we'll action the other one.
It's the same GDS, the one fee, the Apollo.
Yeah, it's because Apollo won't remove that BPR tag for us. Need a window seat, so they're requesting a window seat here.
Where can we see that?
NWRS. So need window requested seat.
Oh, and what does the BPR mean?
BPR means it's a specific seat message only.
Okay.
And because Apollo won't remove that, they can do seats themselves.
Because they won't remove the BPR, yeah. And they wouldn't get a seat from us with just that NWRS. We need a row and a seat number, like a row number and a letter. So we need 2A, 2B, 15A, 15F, because there's no random selection.
But they can also seat the passenger if they go to the Manage My Booking.
That's correct. That is correct. So we'll look up this one and see what they have for seats and probably give them something. Okay, so somewhere down at the bottom here. Should be confirmed on K class for
March 7.
No, they have a B and an S, so
We have Bravo all the way here.
but yeah, B and B. So there's more messages than this out there. Yeah, so there's the B and the B there.
Okay, let me show.
And they were looking for a window seat, I do believe, right?
Yes.
Right, so. But if you select them a window seat now, there's going to be new charges.
No, this.
No.
The seat's free.
And 18. Alright, so 17A, 18A. Okay.
17A, 18A.
Now the only thing is with this one here, when you respond, you're going to have to change this to
Leon. 5.
65 GP W4.
KK Bravo. And
Bravo, Bravo.
then KK 17.
When I was at C, so we'd have to put in, I think we need to take out the NW here in this one, sorry. And it'd be 18 alpha and 17 alpha, right? That's what we gave him? Yes. Yes.
But we removed the NW.
I removed the NW, yeah, I should have removed that in the last one, just to be
Oh, okay.
clear. Yeah, because you want to give him the full seat. So now we've cleared up yesterday completely. Let's see what we have for today. So we'll check the PNR queue. And you don't have anything on process for today. So that's, everything has gone through that's came in automatically that had any sort of issues. So in here for today you have duplicates, seats, a locator request, more seats. Majority are seat requests from 1V and 1P.
We should just do the C2 management.
So this one here we just cleared up. This was an older because they got this in B and B after, so we'll clear that out. Just process this because they got confirmation in B, so they don't even want Yankee either. All right, so here's where we need to start. So this one here is looking for window seat. Looking for a window seat, PVM POS 24th of April. If you want to push people to use to manage my booking for seat selection, you could reach out and ask Galileo, WorldSpan, and Apollo to disable seat selection completely.
Yeah, that's.
Curtis,
Yes.
we have notified the GDSs.
Okay, and they won't. They haven't.
They still do. That's right.
Okay, so if that's the case, you don't have to action the seat if you don't want to.
Yes.
If you've already notified them that you don't want to do the seats.
Most of the Galileo agents here that we have contact with, they do use the managed flight booking.
Oh, okay.
But these are the IC WorldSpan, Sabre. We don't really have.
So this one canceled before it ever got ticketed. This was on a BW ticket. So they never got a booking. They sent a ticket, but it's not ticketed. So you can try to reprocess this one if you wish to. We're putting it back to the receive queue and saving it. And this is book. So we can try and book this one if you want to push it through, because they haven't got anything yet. You have a ticket issued for it. You can push it through if you want. Just send them the locator so they have it. It's for April 24, so you have. Push it through? Yes? They don't want to.
Hey, PBM Post. Kira ganahan pero PBM Post. Yung mga kakala sa push.
9XJ92. All right, so it's confirmed. Now it's pending. Respond to this one with.
Oh.
And
But this one was open, all the classes are open. Why is it
yeah,
confirmed at once for this?
because when it came in, it just, I don't know, it didn't book. They sent in the ticket at the, the wrong status code was on it when we got it. Because it was showing confirmed, they were trying to ticket it at booking. So if I take this one and look it up, so here you have the confirmed and it's ticketed already. It's just a sequence of events, so there's a BW ticket on there. Okay. So see how when I pushed that through from there, so now I didn't have to do anything in regards to making the booking, and it's all completed, right?
Curtis,
Yes.
I have a question on that when you're done with this reservation, please.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm finished with this one now, so.
I also have one question. After Michelle.
And after really also one from
Hi, everybody. Can I also add a question to the list, Curtis?
For sure.
Raul.
All right, so this one, look, here's the same one looking for their locator, so we can. This is the same guy looking for his seats again, so he's already taken care of. All right, we'll get to this one. All right, do you guys want to fire off your questions there now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
If you can open reservation X-Ray Hotel, Papa Victor 29.
Okay.
Yes, I was called by the ground handler regarding this reservation. The passenger was at the counter to check in.
Okay.
But as you can see, the segments were canceled. So what I did, I went in the GDS locator. I can share my screen to show you what I was doing.
No, so this one here, the passenger shouldn't have showed up to check in because it was never ticketed.
No, there is. I went in the queue.
Yeah, okay. If it was ticketed after they would have got the cancellation notice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so wait.
How was it possible then if it was cancelled already? How can you issue a ticket?
Because they can force values.
That is also one of my concerns. No, but that's also one of my concerns. When we pushed out the cancellation, the GDSs are still able to cancel to ticket the segments.
They shouldn't be, because this one was canceled in November, but they shouldn't be. They canceled.
I sent some examples yesterday.
Yes, I got those.
PNRs that were, yes, but still the agents are conducting the ticketing, and then we are forced then to accept these reservations.
So I'll have to look at those 4 or 3 you sent, Natasha.
Please.
Yes,
please.
Why. Okay.
Because it's happening a lot. It's happening a lot. And most of the times what I have noticed is that they are doing the ticketing the day after the cancellation was actually conducted by us.
So in that case, what they're getting the message and they're still trying to ticket. So they're not paying attention to the hold time, or I'm wondering if it's before we change that hold time to show UTC, where they booked before then.
I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see, because we made that change the whole time last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's all before that, it's possible that they had the incorrect hold time in their system. Okay.
Example of that.
So Curtis, sorry, Ida. Curtis, in this case, the passenger was at the counter and there were tickets. How do we handle this? Because what I did, I went into the
Hang on, now just let me see how many times this one booked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it only booked and cancelled once. So you went into the message.
Yes, because I didn't want it to rebook this manually.
Okay. All right, so this is the one here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any of these. So this started here.
Mm-hmm.
They had it. Then they didn't touch it, so they ticketed in December. So they ticketed well after the cancellation.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take this one, for instance, that's rejected. You could change the two of these to SS. You can set that to received and then click book, and that will put the segments on. Now, obviously, it won't put them on now because it's in the past. So did you make a new booking for this one?
No, I didn't because I wanted to show you this first.
Okay.
So I did not as yet make a new booking, and the passenger is coming back. So I think
okay,
if
so
we do book now, what will happen?
We can add on. So what we'll do here is leave that as HK, and we'll put on the return segment book.
Yes, please.
There's not enough availability on in-class on that flight. So you can change it, you can fix it if you want to get the booking on there, then fix the fare class. What I would do is I change that to a Y. Book it. Oh, it's not going to go through. Because the first leg is cancelled, sorry. Book. Unable to find the existing reservation using the locator. So activate the reservation in this case. I didn't realize that one already said it was cancelled, so activate that reservation so that it's open and active. We'll go back and we'll push this one. Which one do we? This one here. Yeah. So we'll take this one and we'll book it through. It's telling you can't find the existing reservation. Let's take out that cancelled line completely. So it's giving it a new locator now, actually, because of it.
Okay. So it's because of the fort it's in the past?
It's because it's in the past, yeah. Yeah, it's because it's in the past. This one is little bit.
But if it was at that moment, how should I handle it? Because I was doing the exact same thing, but I couldn't get the book part. It was grayed out. Then I went into type status.
I'll show you how to do that, how to get the book.
Okay.
You need to find one of the messages that had the rejected status instead of processed.
Okay.
Apply to this one first.
Okay.
TSM. So, in the process queue here, you're looking to get at the book button, so you need to find a message that, see how this one is grayed out and you can't get at the book button? You're looking for one of the messages that would have that's not grayed out, so that it's failed, and you can change it back to received. Now we do have to go back to that booking. TSMMMF. We do have to do a fair. We do have to do a fair change on that one. That should be in. So that's right there now. Do you have the tickets for that, Michelle?
Yes, it's in the queue. Let me check.
And that's the other thing, when you push it through from that other screen, you can add the tickets yourself, and then we don't have to change the message for you.
No, exactly. That is what I want. That is why I wanted to process this, because I don't want to have that flip-flap ticket thing again. If we do it manually, we will constantly have to report it. So
correct. Yeah, it'll take. You have to, and then you're having to wait for the tickets to come in. Yes.
Exactly.
Waiting for the ticket number.
Yes. Sorry. Ticket number is 192-29-5422-6341. Do you have it?
What is it? 192?
192-295-422-6341. And that will be coupon 2.
Yes. Save and close, and everything is finalized.
So a question. Sorry. If I do it if I process it as you just did, it will give me another locate number.
In some cases it will. Some cases it'll match back to the same locator. Okay. This one, because part of it was in the past, you're getting a new locator. Yes.
Okay. And I still have to override for the class, because I thought that it would automatically get the same class it had before. Or is it just in this case?
It couldn't get the class in this case because the class was sold out on this flight.
Okay.
So we did a class change on it to match the ticket, right? Because the ticket was issued for in class.
Yes. Okay.
But Curtis, in the message, the agent got.
I think I sent out a white class. I did, yeah. I got to resend that. Yeah. It was my mistake. I forgot to change back the. So I'll respond again, because they're looking for. No, they're looking for November. PBM PYTSM MF. Now, what did you do for the outbound on the 4th of March?
I didn't book it because I thought it would still be processed. I didn't add it manually.
No, so he's a go-show that's not on a flight, on a PNR.
Exactly, he's a go-show.
All right, so we'll send that out. And we'll go back and see, can we find that reservation, and see if the flight is still open. 04. PBM MIA. Yeah, 463. Open the flight.
You can't book a segment for a date that has already passed, right?
Sometimes I can, but
Oh, okay.
you probably can't, but sometimes I can. Okay, that's not good. Gotta get him on that flight, so. November, select, book, close, edit route, yes, 4, schedule. Looking for this one. I'll have to move this one. I got to make some changes to move him back. There's settings stopping. There are some settings in place that's stopping it, but I'll move him back after the call. Okay? Because I got to go in the back end and change some things to clear it. But that's okay. I will put the ticket on and we'll clear it for you.
Still a question. And so in the queue, you don't have to work in the message where the tickets are added to reinstate this reservation. You don't have to work
You
where the
don't
tickets
have
are
to. No,
added.
not if you can actually work the file. You don't have to. No.
Okay.
Actually, here's the reason I can't move him. This is a multi-segment flight. Just give me a second. I should be able to edit his route and get him on there. Schedule. Defry. Flight expedition. 96. 96. Okay. 24. Yes. So now we need extra seats on this one. No, 5, take away 9, 15, take away 9. So now this one here, I just got to board it. Check in. I'm going to fudge that. Justice following fields are required. Oh, nationality.
Just the Surinamese. No, it's still red.
Yeah, that'll stay red.
But we can board her if her APUS is on red.
Hang on.
You have to go back in?
No, hang on.
Or we can turn it off and just...
It's looking for a passport document and you don't have one there. You don't need
Yeah, I
it here.
put random.
Yeah, you said, Curtis, you would change this for us, right?
Yeah.
Because I have to close all
Perfect.
of my flights. They ask for the APUS.
There we go.
Oh. So if I have to close the flight of yesterday, for example, and one of the APUS is red,
It'll allow you to close it now. You can board it
oh God.
now.
Curtis, can you go back, please?
Yeah, 1 second now. I just want to make sure I close up all this flight.
No, that is the thing. Don't. Oh, okay.
Okay, why what?
Sundial.
There was a non-ref passenger. I think it's
Out
in
of
the.
PVM, yeah.
You know, I made a case. It's still not fixed where we are asking.
This the non-ref, yeah, there.
Yeah.
She flew. She definitely flew because she's on the board list, but her status is not on full.
Okay. So check in.
Yes, that is what we do.
In plane. Yes.
So we still have to process like this. It won't automatically change to board.
Not right now. No, not for standbys. No. Because
Okay.
they may or may not. No. So we do have. That's a change.
We'll have to. Okay.
So yeah, standbys have to be processed as part of the flight closeout.
As je dus zo gaat het nog voorlopig moeten zijn, hoor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So back to the queue and where we're to.
Het leven gezien heeft wel of niet gevlogen dan zijn het updaten.
So we do a number coming in, view date. Oh, received. There we go. All right, so this is what we have left in queue here now to process.
Bruno Pawiro, I saw.
Nothing is in the receive queue, so it's only these unknown messages. So do we have any questions about clearing these out before we wrap up? Because I'll wrap up and...
I think it's more clear now, and we'll try to do it ourselves. And if we have questions, we'll email you. But it definitely... Oh, we have a question.
Sunaina.
Yes?
Is Farida okay?
She also has a question about one of the PNR. Can I give you the PNR, Curtis?
Yes.
Kilo Whiskey 5, Whiskey 2 Charlie.
Kilo Whiskey 5, Whiskey 2 Charlie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we go to the
GDS message. Yes. Or they need a Quebec class for the 13th of December.
So we've Quebec, 13 December, 3rd of January. Then they have Kilo and Hotel.
and we split it now.
Hotel Kilo. Kilo. Quebec Hotel. So Quebec Hotel. Okay.
According Farid, they need all the way Quebec class, and they have already.
The last message you guys received for it was for Quebec and Hotel.
Already.
Yep. The very last message that came in was January 30th, and it's Quebec Hotel.
Quebec Hotel, the last somebody.
They had a Quebec on back here, so let me check. It's possible. 48443. Yeah, okay. So they did. So they have Quebec and Quebec, so that's fine. All they have to do is give you the tickets. This is fine. You just need the tickets now to, which I don't believe you have. They haven't ticketed the file yet. So they have Quebec and Quebec, so you can reply to this one. Change that to Quebec.
Famous already for Quebec all the way, yes.
All right, so then PBM, PY, Kilo Whiskey 2, no, Kilo Whiskey 5, Whiskey 2, Charlie. Charlie. Okay. Send. So you just need to update the class and send back the response to them, showing.
We need to update the class
in the mail, yeah.
In the class, right? So there's the response I sent out for this one. I did a response on the last message that came in. I put 2 Kilo classes. I sent the new locator, and I put the two of them at KK. So now that the travel agency has the
right class.
The 2 fare classes to ticket the file, yes.
What do we do with all the other ones that are in the queue?
Process.
They're all processed. I've looked at everyone that's in the queue for that particular locator. There's more than one message, obviously. Anything that's processed, you don't have to do anything with it. It's and anything that's received or in the inbox. So there's your two groups. So these are the ones you need to get cleared up, right? So the ones that are in either the unknown received or the processed or the PNR received, change name received, DVD received, those ones.
Oh, he meant for this specific PNR. We just working with all the other responses.
For the Ramsaran, we just gave Q class out the way. There were different queues for that.
Yeah,
specifically.
He asked what we were supposed to do with those.
So all the other ones, we have to just change it to process and send the message.
Which one is that?
The one just before Famida, Ramsaran.
No, they're all. So.
You need to replicate it again?
No, I have it here.
Oh.
Somewhere.
Yes, this one had different views.
So if I put paste and I go all received and I do a find. So there's nothing in the receive queue. So every message related to this locator is now taken care of. And these are all processed. So everything that you've received for this one now has processed. They just needed the final. So you don't have to do anything with any of these. They're all processed.
I also have another record locator where there was a time change, but still the travel agent does not see the change.
I won't be able to figure out that here. I'll have to get the message traced to see why they're not seeing the time change. I find that hard to believe, but because I can check the ASC queue. If it's an imported booking, they're not going to see the time change.
It's not an imported one.
Okay. Do you have the locator, the travel agency locator?
Oh no, the travel is it GDS or FMS?
Papa Tango Victor, Zulu 9 Bravo.
29 Bravo?
Zulu 9 Bravo. Victor, Zulu 9 Bravo.
It's not a travel agency locator.
No, it's a PY. I will give you the other one. From the travel agent is Kilo Zulu 8.
Kilo Zulu 8.
Yes. Juliet Delta 8. Yeah.
Okay. Everything I have shows that we sent a message. So I can't, without getting some kind of a trace done to find out, I can't tell you that, I can't say that the travel agent is being honest or correct, because I have 4 instances of that message going out with the time change.
Oh, okay.
Because they claim that they still see the party time of 10:30, but the real time now is 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, there's an alert not handled, because if the real time is at 9 o'clock, you're telling them right here the time is at 16:15.
The time change is for the 422.
Yep, 4th of May. Time change 16:15, 23:25, 23:15 is the only. So there's an incorrect time on something, or you handle the alerts in the wrong order, because there's the 9 o'clock to 2:45 time change for the 16th of April. So the 422.
Yeah, Miami flight, yes, that time was changed to 9 o'clock in the morning.
The
Outbound flight.
May 4th, right?
Yes, that's the inbound.
422.
So we need to check the 16th of April.
The 16th of April is 9 o'clock and 2:45.
421.
421, yeah, right there on the screen. 421, 16th of April, time change. Sent at 15:51 Zulu, and then 15:56 Zulu. You sent the 421 change for 9 to 2:45. It was sent twice.
Why do we see it then? They still have 10:30 at their side.
Then they're going to have to look into it, because we're sending the message out. I don't know why they don't see it. I don't have access to their system to be able to. From what I understand, they have to accept the change, so it's in queue somewhere.
Okay, I will ask them to check the queue then. Maybe they didn't check the queue. Okay.
Ida.
Yeah.
Ask them a snapshot of their queue.
Okay.
Oh, is it
So they must have some sort of alert queue or time change queue, because
They do
obviously
have it.
they
That's
have to
why
be
I want
warned.
a snap.
They have to have some sort of notification that you're changing their time, so their PNRs have to get queued up when there's something comes in for them, so that they can process that change.
Yes.
If you're doing,
what you can do, Ida,
Mm-hmm.
send out an we to the Galileo help desk with this particular PNR so that they can run a trace for you also in the queue. So we know exactly if the agents are handling their queues or not.
Or not? Okay, okay. Okay.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up what I have, unless there's other questions, guys.
I have 2 PNRs.
Okay.
Can you please check it for me?
Mm-hmm.
The first one is 8 Zulu X-ray Delta Charlie 9.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a Sabre user. They called us this morning. They had issued a ticket yesterday.
Yeah.
And this morning they got an XX message for the inbound. And when I retrieved on name, I saw a Jupe PNR, but it was not their Jupe. The passenger was also booked via another agency. So I tried to cancel that seat to become free and that this travel agent could get a seat. But unfortunately, it was only one Romeo seat which came free. So I've asked agent to take the Romeo seat. And since it's already ticketed in uniform class, I have to adjust the class. Suppose if I adjust the class via the message and I leave it in Amelia as in Romeo class, is that correct? Or do I have to balance it also in Amelia?
They have a confirmation in a uniform in a Romeo class.
Yeah, but they got it XX this morning. Only the inbound. The inbound they got XX.
Yeah, but they rebooked it. Okay, they got an XX on the U and the uniform class on the inbound.
Yeah. And I saw a Jupe. The passenger was booked also for another travel agency. And I tried to cancel. I thought by canceling the Jupe, maybe the seat will become free. But unfortunately, one Romeo became free. So I've asked the agent to take the Romeo class for the time being. And then I will adjust the class for them.
I don't even see a uniform class on here.
That's also a problem. Sometimes I want to adjust the PNR, then I do not get it on the list.
That's based on the departure base fares. So PBM AMS. PBM AMS. I can fix it for you, but I have to make a quick change. They're not paying attention to the ticket window that they're getting back, and they're just ticketing whenever they feel like it. and that's why they're getting into some of these cases. So that one's fixed there now, Rudy.
Okay. Okay. A message already has been sent to the travel agency. That is reconfirmed in the uniform class.
No, I didn't send out anything to the travel agency.
Okay, but I still have to do that for the travel agency.
I would if I was you, yeah. I'd resend.
Okay. Then the next case is Golf 3 Sierra Victory Delta Nancy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an old case. According to the travel agent, they have issued a ticket from the 21st of April till the 10th of May. And we cannot see in Amelia the outbound segment. So when I was trying to rebook this, I got the same problem. I get only the fares from Paramaribo.
Received. Cancel.
I have a manager ticket from that.
Yeah, so here's where the problem happened right here, where they went in between here, they got a cancellation and they rebooked, but they sent this through.
Okay.
Without, if they had to send, they sent through a HK on this one, and that's where you lost the 21st. We ignored it because it was booked. So you just go ahead and add your 21st of April segment, and then you fix it after. Add the 21st, and then we can put it in a fare class once it's done. But you have to add a segment first to get the seat.
Okay.
Once it's added, so 2104.
Does this make any sense because you are now using a fare basis from Paramaribo?
I'll fix that. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be in uniform, right?
Yeah.
Nee, dat snap ik niet. Als het ook iets lastig bedoel ik.
No, that's the thing. There's the fare basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fare basis code is fine because it's
Okay,
in the same.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So now you just need to respond to that one and confirm. Just confirm that one again with the locator.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm fine. One more question about these agents who are trying to force the segments to issue the